Hi, my name is Patrick Quill. I'm currently going through the INVICTA Project. I am a Navy veteran of 18 years, and I was fortunate enough to serve within the Marine Special Operations community. I specifically was a Special Operations Independent Duty Corpsman. So what that really is you are a team member to a Marine Special Operations team. I was trained in Marine reconnaissance, free fall parachuting, demolitions, combat diving, and I'm a graduate of the Special Forces Medical Sergeant course, also known as Special Operations Independent Duty Corpsman. Once I'd left the teams, I was in a vehicle accident in 2021. I was in a vehicle rollover. It was pretty bad. All the windows were broken, all the airbags deployed. I was unconscious for about 5 minutes in the vehicle. And it was after that that I, not just myself, but my wife and my family as well, started to notice things were different. Things as simple as having a conversation with my wife in the morning and having no recollection of it later in the day, or when I was at work, and I'd be constructing a class or a PowerPoint presentation over a topic that I was intimately familiar with, something as simple as hemorrhage control. And I would have an idea in my mind of how long it should take me to produce this work. And things like getting organized, coming up with a plan, things were getting more and more difficult for me to complete, and I couldn't understand why. I walked into here and it felt more like a professional sports training facility rather than anything else. But everything was clean, modern, and every person I came in contact with, whether if it was Jennifer or Chris or the doctors that I've met, I had a genuine sense that they truly cared. I wasn't the next person on their list for the day, and when I spoke, they really listened, and people talk about active listening, and that could come in a lot of different forms, but I felt like they were listening to truly try and understand. My own education or knowledge concerning the brain and how it is affected by traumatic brain injuries is pretty limited. But the thing that surprised me the most was I didn't really have an appreciation for how when you have a collection of a bunch of small traumatic brain injuries, or several massive or one massive, that parts of the brain, whether they were talking about my sensory input, whether it's my eyes, what I'm hearing, all your sensory input, right? That my mind, I guess, was having difficulty taking all of those things in a logical way and processing them. First day, we did a ton of assessments. I wouldn't say a ton, but to my mind, it felt like I had done a ton of assessments. And after that, they just exuded confidence of like, hey, this is, we know what to do and this is what we're gonna do. I felt like I was my symptoms. I felt like they were limiting blocks to me, and so I guess my main goal was I wanted to have, I didn't want my day-to-day, my life, my personality to be limited and defined by the things I felt like I couldn't do or couldn't fix on my own. 2 weeks in the grand scheme of life is short, but I can tell you that from day 1 to, day 9, I feel better. I was having issues with tinnitus, and that's, even the short time, resolved itself. And I mentioned like emotional regulation, or I guess feeling overwhelmed by life or things, in life. And since I've started, whether it's what they're doing to my brain or helping me to process the sensory information, I've just felt, I guess, more at peace, more at ease. I've definitely improved. And then another thing that I would just like to say about the INVICTA Project that I think sets it aside from a lot of, whether it's TBI, PTS, veteranist, whatever the program is not just the quality of the people and how much they care, but the robust follow-up continuum of care through all the modalities, whether it's functional medicine, neurology, physical therapy. Every one of those people have told me that I'm gonna leave here with a thorough plan, right? A continued care plan, and that we have scheduled follow-up calls, right? Like, hey, where are you at? And not just scheduled calls, they've all told me that if something was going on or something was wrong or something changed, to just reach out to them. I'm very hopeful, and I'm looking forward to going home and to kind of grab life by the horns at home and try and be the leader my family needs me to be, and not be the anchor or the stumbling block.